Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Ryan. Make sure to like and subscribe. We've got some great stuff coming up. I'm here to talk about my week 5 player updates. So I'm going to get right into it with Clev Lubin. Think I've actually I think it's Lubin. Sorry, I think I've been saying it wrong. Clev Lubin. He is again an unbelievable player. He's dominating every single week he plays. He had 7 total pressures, 3 QB hits, had a 28.6% win rate, pass rush win rate, that is. Had a really nice swat at the line. It just seems like his game's getting better every week. He's getting more and more adjusted to playing at a bigger school. Just absolutely love what he's doing, and I think he's going to continue climbing up people's boards. Um, Isaiah Nokobia, SMU didn't have a game. Clemson, Cade Klubnik did not have a game. D'Angelo Pons, the corner out of Indiana, was a last second scratch for an injury. So, not surely about that one, but we'll see going forward. So, Whit Weeks, the linebacker, he had a pretty solid game. Didn't really do anything, more than he normally does. Solid tackler, decent in coverage. He at one point, I think the highlight of his game, honestly, because LSU didn't look great. But he at one point there's this scene where he is just vomiting out of his mask and tries to catch it and then just keeps going and kept playing. So I thought that was interesting. Type of guy he is, just like an actual a dog. But yeah, overall, just nothing too exciting in the game. Um, but played his role of like a mid-round linebacker. Um, Corleone for the Bearcats again. He's injured, but I felt like his impact on this game was actually noticeable because they have no interior push and struggle against the run, and he is the type of guy that can fix that. So he did try to go in warmups for this game and wasn't able to. So I'm really hoping this week against Iowa State he'll be able to get in there and show us what he can do. Darius Taylor, running back out of Minnesota, sat with an injury. Joe Royer. So Joe Royer had a really nice block that set up a touchdown. He had a huge catch, absolutely huge catch on third down and held on the ball despite being hit in the air. But unfortunately, that hit where he landed made him leave with an injury. Um, so that was unfortunate. Didn't get to see him play the whole game. Hoping he's healthy this week. But um, Eric McAllister for TCU, he didn't get many targets early, and then he left with a lower back injury. So nothing really to say there. Taron Tayo. So here, he had a holding call that took away a touchdown. And he, one thing that I noticed, he needs to hold the run blocks a little longer at times. Like he would make the initial block, be solid, but then eventually the guy would get off him and be able to make the play if the play hadn't developed like it should. Part of that's on the offense for the play needing to develop. Um, that was just something I noticed a couple times in this game. I think, like metrics wise, this was probably his worst game of the season, but I think it was more of the whole entire O line as a whole struggled this game um, against Kansas. And I think the way I view UC's O line is they're one of the better offensive lines in the Big 12, but it's like a sum of the parts instead of having one star. So when they're struggling, they're kind of all struggling. Um, but either way, I still think he is a solid player. Brian Parker the second, he is, in my opinion, going to be moving up draft boards. He was just an absolute force in the run game and was good in the pass again. He was their best player on offense. I don't know, like everyone's going to call him a guard. Everyone's going to call him a guard or maybe even a center at the next level. But man, if he keeps playing like this, I could see some teams potentially keeping him, at least trying him at tackle first to see if they, uh, if that can work or not before pushing him inside. But he is having just a great season. Um, Mark Gronowski, the quarterback. Man, I'm eating my words with this one. I was really high on him this year, and it just hasn't been great. This was another solid game before he got hurt. They were facing Indiana, a team that should have absolutely dominated them. Um, and he kept them in it. And honestly, had he not gotten injured, I think they would have won. This team has more than, I think, at the beginning of that game, had 9 dropped passes, and they dropped multiple in that game as well. So that's really something that's hurting him. Um, he still doesn't have any turnover worthy plays, but he couldn't get his run game going behind his O line's probably worst performance of the year, and that's a big deal. Like his game is it's set up by his threat of his legs. So yeah, a little sad seeing him go out. David Bailey, Texas Tech, had no game this week. John Michael Gillenborg, no game this week. So hopefully he's healthy after the injury he had beforehand. And that's really it. Really short one for you this week. Half my guys didn't play, and about a third of them were injured. So be on the lookout soon. We have some really exciting things coming. Some more interviews that we're going to hopefully be dropping soon. Um, and just be expecting to see more of us as the season goes on. We have our next live is, I believe, on October 7th. And on that one, we'll be talking about our top 5 players that have caught our attention so far at every position group in college football throughout the season. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a fun one. As always, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.